sending in the world of letters. I say, what are you doing? Beverly, leave it alone. What's gotten into you? It's Higgs. What?
It's Higgs!
Don't be silly.
I tell you it's Higgs! I don't understand it. He's dead.
Dead?
Who would want
He must have been lying there the whole
kill
time.
Higgs?
What's he doing here? I was standing in tonight.
Moon.
So it's me and Package now.
Moon! I got it!
I didn't.
Moon, I got, so that was it. Moon, I see.
No, I swear,
Finally, I see it all.
Root! Oh my God! What happened, Inspector? He's dead. That's a bit rough, isn't it? A bit extreme. He may have had his faults. I admit he was a fickle. Who did this and why?
To say that it is without pace, point, focus, interest, wit, or originality is to say that it does not happen to be my cup of tea. One has only to compare this ragtag to the masters of the genre to see that here we have a trifle that is not my cup of tea at all.
I am sorry to be blunt, but there's no getting away from it. It lacks pace. A complete ragbag.
I will go further. Those of you who are fortunate enough to be at the Comédie Française on Wednesday night will not need to be reminded that hysterics are no substitute for éclat.
It lacks elan.
Some of the cast seem to have given up acting altogether. Perhaps they gasped, with good reason, at finding themselves involved in an evening that would, and indeed will, make the angels weep.
I am not a prude, but I fail to see any reason for the shower of filth and sexual allusion foisted onto an unsuspecting public in the guise of modernity at all costs.
Well, Inspector, is this your man?
Yes. Yes.
It's Simon.
Yes, poor son. Is this some kind of a joke?
If it is, Inspector, it's in very poor taste.
Right. I'm going to find out who did this. Everyone will return to the positions they occupied when the shot was fired. But no one will leave the house.
I think we all had the opportunity to fire the shot, Inspector.
I am not the inspector.
But which of us would want to?
Perhaps you, Major Magnus.
Why should I want to kill him?
Because he was on to you. Yes, he tumbled to you right from the start. And you shot him just as he was about to reveal that you killed this chap.
What motive would there be for killing him? Who is this chap? Inspector!
I've no idea. Quite unlike anyone I've ever seen before. Well now.
Inspector,
Yes? Yes, what is it, dear lady?
happening to enter this room earlier in the day to close the windows, I turned to overhear a remark made by the deceased to her ladyship, to the effect, "I will kill anyone who comes between us."
Oh. Well, that's it. This chap was obviously killed by, Simon.
But he didn't come between us.
And who then killed Simon?
Subsequent to that reported remark, Inspector, I also happened to be in earshot of a remark made by Lady Muldoon to the deceased. "I will kill you, Simon Gascoigne." I hope you don't mind my mentioning it.
Not at all. It is from such chance remarks that we in the force build up our complete picture before moving in to make the final arrest. It will not be long now, I fancy, and I must warn you, Lady Muldoon, that anything you say...
Yes! I hated Simon Gascoigne, for he had me in his power. But I didn't kill him. Prior to that, Inspector, I also happened to overhear a remark made by Miss Cunningham, no doubt in the heat of the moment, but it stuck in my mind as these things do. To wit, "I will kill you for this, Simon Gascoigne."
Ah, the final piece of the jigsaw. I believe I am now in a position to reveal the mystery. This chap was, of course, McCoy, the Canadian, who, heard, chancing to meet Gascoigne in the street and being solicited for tuppence for a toffee apple. Smacked him across the ear with the cry, "How's that for a grudge to harbour, you sniping little work-shy?" All those many years ago. Gascoigne bided his time, but in due course tracked McCoy down to this house, having, on the way, met in the neighbourhood a simple, ambitious girl from the provinces. He was charming, persuasive, told her I have no doubt that she would go straight to the top, and she, flattered by his sophistication, taken in by his promises to see her all right on the night, gave in to his simple desires. Perhaps she loved him. We shall never know. But in the very hour of her promised triumph, his eye fell on another. Yes, I refer to Lady Cynthia Muldoon. The moment he saw her, there was no other woman for him. He was in her spell, willing to sacrifice anything. Even you, Felicity Cunningham. It was only today, unexpectedly finding him here, that you learned the truth. There was a bitter argument ending with your promise to kill him. A promise which you carried out at the first opportunity in this very room, and I must warn you that anything you say—
But it doesn't make any sense.
Not at first glance, perhaps.
Would not Simon have been killed by the same person who killed McCoy?
But why would any of us want to kill a perfect stranger?
Perhaps he was not a stranger to one of us.
But Simon was a murderer, wasn't he?
We only have your word for that, Inspector. We only have your word for quite a lot of things. For instance, McCoy. Who is he? Is his name McCoy? Is there any truth at all in that fantastic and implausible tale of insult inflicted in the Canadian streets? Or is there something else? Something quite unknown to us behind all this? Suppose for a moment that the man, having killed this unknown stranger for private and inscrutable reasons of his own, was disturbed before he could dispose of the body. So, having cut the telephone wires, he returned to the scene of the crime, masquerading as Police Inspector Hound.
But I'm not mad. I'm almost sure I'm not mad.
Only to discover that in the house was a man, Simon Gascoigne, who recognized the corpse as a man against whom you held a deep-seated grudge.
But I didn't kill him. I'm almost sure I didn't kill him.
I put it to you. Are you the real Inspector Hound?
You know damn well I'm not. I only dreamed. Sometimes I dream.
So it was you, the madman, the killer.
Oh, it's horrible.
Horrible!
The stranger in our midst.
We had a shrewd suspicion he would turn up here, and he walked right into the trap.
What trap?
I am not the real Magnus Muldoon. It was a mere subterfuge. And I now reveal myself as—
You mean?
Yes, I am the real Inspector Hound.
Puckridge!
Stand where you are, or I shoot.
Puckridge! You killed Higgs! And Birdboot tried to tell me.
Stop in the name of the law! I've waited a long time for this moment.
So you're the real Inspector Hound.
Not only that, I've been leading a double life, at least.
You mean?
Yes, it's been 10 long years. Don't you know me? You mean? Yes, it is me, Albert, who lost his memory and joined the force, rising by merit to the rank of inspector. His past blotted out, until fate cast him back into the home he left behind, back to the beautiful woman he brought here as his girlish bride. In short, my darling, my memory has returned, and your long wait is over.
Oh, Albert!
Puckridge!